guys, Jordy here from It's the True Story, and today I'm on location at literally like the best place ever. It's my friend Vince's special collection room. Oh. Is that what we call this place?
Our office, and Norma's too, who's working the camera.
Yes, so it's Vince's home office. Vince is a music industry titan, has been so for many, many years. You know him from some of the other episodes. I'll put links and you'll see us, but Vince is also from, his business is called New Releases Now. But we're not here today to talk about any new releases. So sorry about that for people that like music of today's world. No, we're here today to talk about a very special topic that Vince and I have been brewing up for you guys. And I'll let Vince explain it because the way I explain it, he doesn't really like.
So this is, you know, when I was growing up as a kid and listening to albums, I don't think I really put together that a band had different lead singers or different members of bands sang on the different songs. I just assumed that they were all by Queen, they were all by Heart, they were all by Blue Oyster Cult, and whoever those lead singers were, they're the ones that sang them.
Right.
And then I don't know, it was probably not until the internet came around that I learned differently, or it just kind of meant more to me, I guess, as I learned to appreciate music more, that you know, other people in the band sang songs, and some of them were their biggest hits.
Right. One that we're not going to show because everyone knows, which is Beth by Kiss, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one is not Gene Simmons. Do you know who it is, Vince?
Yes, it is.
It's Peter Criss. It's Peter Criss. Okay.
I was thinking Eric Singer, who later became Peter Criss, who became Peter Criss.
Okay, so Vince is going into the deep cuts, but yeah. So,
well, and then also like another big major one is Sister Christian by Night Ranger. But that's the drummer. Yeah. You know, and not the lead singer of the band.
Right.
But what? Yeah. You had some favorites.
Yes.
Up,
so
right?
Vince and I are going to take you on a tour of some really of our like all-time favorite albums too, with a song on it that you would not necessarily know. So, for example, you know, I was less of a Beatles person. Super sorry to tell you that, but I love the Stones. And Exile on Main Street. You know, every once in a blue, Keith will kick in and do a song, and he does a song that feels really out of character to me, but it's happy. So that's Keith Richards on Exile on Main Street. Vince? Probably
the first one that I became aware of that it wasn't the lead singer, for obvious reasons, was A Night at the Opera, and the song is I'm in Love with My Car by Roger Taylor, which is not your favorite. But
yeah, it's such a goofy, I mean, I love Queen, but they have some goofy songs that you're like, well, yeah. But I like that.
But I mean, but it was the first time that I was like, oh, that doesn't sound like that opera guy singing this song.
Right.
You know, Freddie.
Right.
You know, back then, remember, I was only
that opera guy.
I was only like 14 or something at the time.
Well, for me, and I think maybe for you, one of the all-time classic songs ever is Tempted by Squeeze. Right? I'm just going to show this one because, oops, my record collection pick, it's just kind of lame and we can debate this, but I play this nonstop. Anyways, Paul Carrick is the person who actually does lead vocals, and he wasn't even in Squeeze. He was a keyboardist for the Journeymen. I had to like look that one up. But normally it's Glenn Tilbrook, of course, Difford, those guys you know. But this time, not so much, because they wanted a specific voice, I guess. And also, if you listen very carefully...
Bonus points.
Bonus points! Not only do you hear Tilbrook in the background, but you also hear Elvis Costello. So that's kind of exciting for people.
Well, then we move on. I'm going to move on to Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune, Don't Fear the Reaper. I mean,
the classic BOC song.
Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult, and of course everybody knows the cowbell was done by the actual cowbell player in the band, but what you might not know is that the vocals were not done by typically the lead singer of the band, but these were done by Buck Dharma, who was the lead guitarist. At the time, Eric Bloom usually sang most of the lead vocals on their records. But anyway, so that's like a really big song that people today probably still don't realize that just somebody else in the band sang other than the lead singer.
I had no idea. That was something I learned today. Okay, so I am going with one of my all-time favorite bands. I loved as a kid. Love the Police so much. And this talk about goofy songs. Be My Girl Sally on this one is, I don't know if you guys know it, it's a spoken word, it's a poem, and it's not by Sting.
Huh.
Sorry.
Wait, does that count?
Yeah. Vince does not feel like this counts.
Not count.
I feel like this totally counts because, you know, be my girl, won't you be my girl?
If this was a poetry album, maybe. No. If it was like Police does poetry.
No. This is Andy Summers. He wrote a song. He wrote a poem that became a song, and it's all about loving a blow-up girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, if you don't know it, you should listen. It's a little cheeky. It's fun.
And then the other tidbit that I really like about this album that you may not realize, that Roxanne is actually not sung by Sting either, but Eddie Murphy. He sings Roxanne on this, which is just the best version.
The better version of
yeah,
Roxanne
exactly.
is Eddie Murphy, for sure. Yeah.
So let's go on to the Cars, and this is their first album. This one might be a little more obvious that it wasn't Rick Ocasek singing, but Benjamin Orr sang Just What I Needed.
Which is such a great song.
Yeah, which is a great song.
Love the Cars.
And, you know, but they obviously have two very different types of voices. But again, that's one of those ones where you, growing up, and a lot of people might just think that there's only one lead singer in a band and do all the songs.
Yeah.
In this case, not.
Yeah, not so much. And speaking of voices that you aren't sure about, on Life's Rich Pageant, this is a classic REM album, a classic, and the song Superman, which is such a Superman.
Yeah, that one?
Yes, and that harmony was free and beautiful, and the song was sung by Mike Mills.
I still don't believe it.
I still don't believe it. And not by Michael Stipe.
I know, it just still seems... And, you know, I think it was because at that point Michael Stipe, like, refused to do covers, because that's a cover song. Oh. And that's why he said, there's no way I'm going to sing that, because...
Who did the original? I didn't know that was a cover song. We're going deep now. Super deep.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay, so we don't remember that part, but it's good to know.
Christopher Reeves. I am.
That was a really good idea. Yeah.
Do we have to pay for that?
Yeah. And you know what? The singing on this one is kind of an extra bonus for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying it.
Okay, can we move on?
Yes.
Beach Boys. I'm a Beach Boys fanatic, and of course, there was Brian Wilson sang, Carl sang, but Do You Want to Dance? And that was on Beach Boys Today, and that was Dennis Wilson, the younger brother. I think he was the youngest brother.
Brother.
Yeah, and the drummer who died tragically in a drowning accident on Marina Del Rey.
We could do a whole episode about
he was
tragic
my
drummers.
favorite. He was my favorite Beach Boy, by the way. But anyway, so he sang lead on this one, and that's, I never really realized that until later years.
So, we could have gone on all day, so we just narrowed our picks to our 10. So I do 5, and Vince is doing 5, or maybe 6. Vince might be doing 8 or 9. Okay, at any rate, with my last pick, I have U2's Zooropa, because we have The Edge on Numb, which is such a great song. And the video is kind of freaky and weird, too. But I love to hear The Edge, because he's so stoic and quiet.
And that's a good example of, a lot of albums, there's going to be like a vanity song by somebody else in the band where they're just doing the one song. And that is the case with some of the other songs that The Edge sang. I mean, not that they were just vanity songs, but I mean, this was
The Edge is not just about vanity.
Yeah, this one was a hit. So that's kind of what we're trying to point out, that sometimes the lead singer didn't get the hit.
Yeah, lead singer did not get the hit in that case.
I got a couple more.
Yeah.
Cheap Trick, Dream Police. The song is called I Know What I Want.
Oh, yeah. It's like
that was not Robin Zander, but Tom Pedersen, the bass player. Yes.
Stop it.
Can you believe that?
I can barely believe that.
Ooh La La by the Faces.
Ah.
Many people just assume
it's all
Faces, Rod Stewart, and or even to a lesser degree, maybe Ronnie Lang might have sung that.
Maybe.
But it was Ronnie Wood, and he was the lead singer on that track on this album. But Rod usually sang it live, and sometimes Ronnie Lang sang it live. And then Ron Wood would. Well, I don't think he ever did any Stones songs.
No.
Did he?
I don't know any Ronnie Wood songs.
But he
had to go all the way. He had to throw it back to Faces.
Well, no, he put out a couple of solo albums, like "Give Me Some Neck." That was a great album where he sang.
It's a really good one.
And then
I would like some new neck, just new neck, not the old neck. I'd like.
So, anyways, that's the story with this Ooh La La. And lastly, this is going to blow everybody's minds.
Yeah, everyone's going to freak out. It's going to be crazy.
Heart, this was their comeback album when they signed to Capitol Records, and they kind of went more pop. This was their biggest selling album. I think still to this day, this is their biggest selling album. and it was kind of that. It was made for the MTV age. They had all those cheesy, like, slow motion, you know, videos where they're wearing their pirate wear. Anyways, the song "These Dreams," it was, you know, Ann Wilson was the lead singer and sang pretty much every song while Nancy played lead guitar. Nancy sang this one, and it was a really big hit.
Yeah, that one was actually a huge hit for her. Yeah. And that's all we got. Speaking of huge hits, now listen, you have a lot more ideas out there. You know the songs that you love. We did more research. Let's hear about it in the comments, because there are a ton of good examples of classic, amazing songs that were sung by somebody other than the person you think they're sung by. And so share that in the comments, and while you're at it, as long as you're all downstairs, move up a little bit, give it a like, subscribe. We love having you here. I love having Vince here.
Go to newreleasesnow.com and subscribe.
Subscribe there.
There, if you want to hear about new releases.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram. You can hear all about new releases coming out, and it's free. And check it out.
Yeah, deep cuts, you guys. And thanks to Vince. Thanks to you for watching. And that's all we got this week. Bye.